Hi, welcome to In a Pickle Knitting. Today is Vlogtober number 2. It's October 2nd, 2018. And I don't have much of a voice today, so this is going to be fairly short. I don't want to be a fail from the get-go on Vlogtober, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do this, but it will be shorter today. Today I have 2 books that I want to tell you about, and you'll see why I've chosen them to go together. The first one will not seem like a book in particular for October, and that is the classic Madeline by Ludwig Bemelmans. And this was published first back in 1937 or 1939. It was a favorite book of mine as a child, and it starts off in an old house in Paris that was covered with vines. Oops, I did 2 pages there, sorry. Lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines, and in 2 straight lines they go on. And the smallest of all was Madeline, and of course that's our title character. And he did write subsequent books to this with Madeline's Rescue and other Madeline stories. So the reason that I've chosen this is I would like to talk to you today about Frankenstein. And you'll see, this is by Ludwig Bemelmans, and this is a parody. And it's an excellent book to use, the 2 books paired together to use to teach the concept of parody. And it begins in a creepy old castle all covered with spines. Excuse me, spines. Lived 12 little monsters in 2 crooked lines. And the story goes on and on. It is paired perfectly with Madeline, down to the covers. Now, I took off the paper cover because it's just hard to read them with it on there. But of course, you'll see here it is a Caldecott honor book. And this book, however, has a medal. And they followed everything just the same, but it is a Caldecott horror book. So it is not a Caldecott, it is a Caldecott. So they took the concept of parody just down to every single step, and I have taught this concept of parody to kindergartners and 1st graders using these 2 books and another set that I'm going to show you on another day. So for today, I had intended to bake pumpkin cranberry nut bread, but I'm absolutely not up to that today, and so I'm instead going to show you pictures here, and they would also be at the beginning and the end, of a little wall hanging quilt that I made many years ago, about 25 years ago. And I don't actually remember who the kit was from, but it was a little kit that came with all of the shapes that each piece should be cut out. And the way that you do this quilt is to trace the shapes onto something like a Wonder Under or one of those heat and bond products that adhere 2 pieces of fabric together. And so when you take it off of the roll, if that's how it comes, the what I have came on a roll, sometimes it comes in a package, but one side of it is sticky already, and on the top is a paper, and you use that side to draw if you want to trace something, and then lay it down on your other fabric and follow the heat settings to adhere it to the first fabric. And then you can peel it off. Well, in this case, for this particular application, before you peeled it off, you would want to cut around the shapes that you drew on the paper side of this, and then peel the paper off and turn it upside down onto another fabric, and again adhere it using your iron. So you've been able to have that sticky surface on both sides of on the fabric to adhere to one fabric, and then it adheres it to the second fabric. And then you did not need to quilt around or sew around each of these pieces because it's not something you're going to wash. It's not something, I mean, I've never washed it in 25 years. I just made mine as a little hanger, on a little hanger, as you'll see. But what I have done since is to practice some of my free motion quilting and just using some different applique stitches to actually go around each, almost all the pieces of fabric, to have them stitched on as well as being put on with that adhesive. Now that adhesive has lasted 25 years because I did make this. I know where I lived when I made it, and it is 25 years old. But again, no heavy wear. And so stitching around it was really just for me practice, and but you could do it anyway. I don't know who made this kit. I had an Easter one and a Halloween one. I made them both. No idea who the manufacturer is. But if you wanted to take the concept, you could apply it to just tracing any kind of designs out of a coloring book, or print something from online and adhere it to your fabrics, and then stitch around it if you'd like, and make a little wall hanging or a little table runner, or a pillow, something else, using that same technique. So happy Vlogtober day number 2, and I hopefully will see you back tomorrow if I have a voice. Bye-bye.